All right, shall we talk about the US Democrats? I think we should, because as crazy as politics is here in Australia and in the UK, nothing comes close to the US Democrats. I mean, we're spoilt for choice, but let's just run through a couple of Democrats making ludicrous, ridiculous statements. And I'm not sure whether I'm more amazed at the statements or that people actually believe some of this stuff. We'll start with the Chicago mayor, Brandon Johnson. Look, I'll just let him tell you what Trump's been doing to babies in America.
No one is going to convince me what the Trump administration is doing against black people and brown people can ever be justified. It is racist. When you have black babies being thrown in the back of vans, zip tied in the middle of the night, and masked men sticking guns in the faces of black and brown people, that is nasty, is vicious, is racist.
Black babies being zip-tied and thrown into the back of vans in the middle of the night. Does anyone believe that's true?
Come on. Like what? I mean, if he can provide a shred of evidence for it, I'll take it. But, you know, in that vein, because, of course, he can't provide any evidence, I heard that Joe Biden's been going around gagging people in the middle of the night and putting, gaffer tape over their mouths and beating them up and breaking into their houses. I've got just as much evidence for that as he does for the idea that they're going around putting zip ties around black kids' hands.
It's so wild. And, of course, he forgets to mention the fact that ICE is actually there to crack down on illegal immigration. Yes, most of the people ICE is deporting are probably brown or black, but that's probably because that's what most illegal migrants crossing the border tend to be, and that's just the reality. So just completely bizarre, but it does not stop there. Another Democrat rep, Delia Ramirez, kept running on this theme of children, and this time the Republicans are responsible for starving children.
Republicans control the House, they control the Senate. Some would argue they're controlling the Supreme Court most days, and they control the White House. This government shutdown is all theirs. The starving children is going to be on them. And how do you play with children's lives while quoting scripture at the very same time?
The left always resorts to starving children. It's the same in Gaza. It's the same in the government shutdown. Starving children. Where are they? They're not there. And she does bring up the government shutdown. But let's do a little recap on why the American government is shut down. And that's because the Democrats won't approve any of the spending bills. So it's not actually the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault. And in any case, even during a shutdown, life essential services are still running. It is only the non-essential government employees that are sent home, and those services are stopped. But it's another good lesson in the fact that most government employees actually do nothing because they've all been off work for a month and the US is still standing.
I know. And it's like, they say, oh, well, it's their fault it won't change, simply because the Republicans won't just roll over and do everything that they say they want to do. Politics is about negotiation, You don't just get what you want all the time, and both sides ought to be working on that. But moving on to a segment we like to call Moaning Michelle, here is Mrs. Obama, the former First Lady, complaining about how life hard is as a black woman. Today, it's her hair.
The way our hair naturally grows out of our head, it's beautiful, but if we struggle to make it look like the standard, that means we are spending thousands of hours and lots of money straightening out what is naturally curly hair, right? And that takes time out of your life.
God, life must be hard as a First Lady, all that hair straightening and all these things you have to... I mean, you leave your hair how you want. I don't care whether you straighten your hair or you leave it curly or whatever. It's naturally curly. Have your hair curly. Who cares?
It's not just African American women who struggle with this. Every morning, straightening my hair,
Someone made the joke when Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban broke up. You went to Keith Urban recently.
I did, and I quite enjoyed the Keith. It went a little long, but it was good.
But someone made the joke, a bit like his hair up, but someone made the joke, who's going to get the hair straighteners in that divorce settlement?
That's a good one.